All right, let's see. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Is this thing working? Yeah, it's not going to be a show about audio, I promise. All right, Tommy. Tommy's my hero this week. Gee whiz. Let's see. Tommy's here. Gunner's here. Jan's here. Michael's here. Biz is here on time. Well done. Jesper's here. Welcome. Glad to have you. Rich. Let's see. They need to make 2 more new features, so it is 26 for 26. I agree, but I think I may have miscounted. I think there may be actually 25, but who knows? They may see this note and say, you know, let's put in an extra feature just so it can be 26. Oh my gosh. Tommy is using an app called Volley. That is a meeting social app. Oh, cool. All right. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So sorry about being just a tad late with the pre-show. I was diving into vMix 26, almost called it vMix 24, and just making sure that I understood most of the features. Not sure that I understand all of them, but that's okay. Hang on a second. I've got an email here I need to take a look at real quick. Yeah, okay, good. We're good there. Somebody from a Fortune 500 company had a quick question I responded to just a minute ago, and then they responded again. I wanted to make sure I gave them the right answer. So yeah, having fun. vMix 26. Woo-wee, a beta. Of course we're using the beta today, you know. Of course. How else could I show it to you than, use it? Of course, you're not. Let me get the page up here on my laptop. So if you want the beta, and I'll tell you again later in the show, you go to the vMix forums, which is forums, plural, forums.vmix.com. Go to the general forum, and there'll be it's like vMix 26 preview released. And the first post in there will be from Martin Sinclair, 19th cousin. And it'll say vMix 26, 26.0.0.18 beta is here. And then in big, bold type, it says disclaimer. This is a preview release for those who like to live on the edge. There will still be some bugs. So this should not be used in production. Not be used in productions. Not be used in productions. No, not. Yeah, I get it. So, of course, we're using it in productions. Jan was slightly disappointed about the Insta360 link support. Well, Jan, you'll have to tell me about that because I don't know anything about it. I don't even know what Insta360 is. Is that a 360 camera? Eric Tabor's here. All right, we can get started. Well, Eric, if we started now, we'd be 2 minutes early. So we got to wait a second. So we're not using this in production. Well, we are. And I'll mention this later too. And this is per vMix. If you purchased your vMix license prior to the 1st of January, 2021, you won't be able to use this beta without making an update. It'll cost you $60. Or if you have only used the trial once in the past, you can use the trial for this. Maybe. And then, of course, if you decide to upgrade from HD to 4K or from HD to Pro or from 4K to Pro or something like that, you'll get free updates for 12 months. And we have those on our website. So, yeah. Late to the show is when you arrive at the studio 11 minutes before go live and you are the producer. Oh, well, yeah. I've been in the studio all morning. Well, for me, it's all morning. Hello, Otis. Glad to have you. Welcome. But was just, spinning around here, spinning, trying to get some graphics ready and be able to show you guys some vMix 26 stuff, which, of course, Jan has already analyzed and diagnosed. But yeah. So that's why I was late. And Tommy has the question of the day. Does any of this apply to me? And my answer would be probably, but it's not going to be big stuff. It's going to be more stuff to kind of help you through the day. It's not going to be a brand new coffee maker, but it is going to be a fresh cup of coffee. How about that? There you go. Are you a coffee drinker, Tommy? I have got to get up to Tallahassee. Jeez. Yeah. So let's get the show. Let's start the show on time. What do you say? Here we go. All right, it worked. Hooray. Welcome. I'm Tom Sinclair. I know that because it says it right down here. And this is Streaming Idiots. I'm reminded that not everybody knows about the title of the show. So everybody that's doing live streaming, sooner or later, does something really stupid. Like forgets to press the record button, or forgets to press the stream button. and just starts their production. I've done both of those. What have I not done? Well, that list might be shorter. But when you do that stuff, you just feel, golly, like an idiot. So I thought, well, let's get all the idiots together. So we'll put all the idiots together in one place, and we can share our ignorance and share our knowledge and share our wisdom. And it does come in that order. First, we just don't know. And second, we know, but we don't understand. And then we understand. So today we're going to be bringing those of you that are ignorant into knowledge. This is going to be about vMix 26. And then for those of you that are now either already or now have knowledge about vMix 26, we're going to help you understand how it will apply to you, at least in some cases, because I don't understand some of it. So anyway, that's it. So vMix 26, yes, it's what the vMix guys call a preview. vMix 26 preview. And then they say sort of beta on the side. But I'll tell you, having been through numerous previews with vMix over the years, I'll tell you, their doggone preview is the equivalent of some other software's finished release version. I mean, they have tested this sucker every which way they can. And I think it is a personal affront to the developer if one of us actually finds a bug at this preview point. Now, he expects, frankly, that there'll be bugs because he can't duplicate every possible production environment. And that's why you put a beta out there, so you can say, hey, this is not quite doing what it should be doing. So today we are going to do an overview of all the features and upgrades. And then we're going to take a look at some of them, and we'll probably kind of mix in. We'll go through the list, and then we'll mix in, take a look at those. And then in post-show, maybe we can talk about them. And if there's something particular you'd like to see me demonstrate, I would be happy to. So yeah. So T-Century, welcome, first-time watcher. Yeah, there we go. Customer of what Mr. S's vMix computer. Good. And he's a Tom too. All right. Very good. Welcome. Glad to have you. And yes, we went live on time. That's right. For a change. How about that for a change? All right. So the beta is a very solid addition. We're using it today. Of course. I mean, this is the idiot show. What do idiots do? Idiots do things you're not supposed to do, like use beta software for production. The beta number is 26.0.0.18. So that tells us that there were 17 revisions prior to this one. And those were what we would call alpha revisions. That is in-house stuff where, Martin and team are testing things, finding bugs, making a list of bugs, fixing the bugs. And then when those are fixed, it increments up from 12 to 13 to 14 to 15 and now to 18. They think it's pretty solid, and they're going to throw it out there and let us try to break it or break us, whichever happens first. So let's get into, how do you get it? You go to vmix.com and you click on the tab in the menus over here that says forums, and that'll take you to forums.vmix.com, or you can just type that URL directly. And then you're looking in the general discussion, which is of all the different categories. There used to be only like 3 or 4 categories in the forum, and now there are 8 or 9. In the general discussion category, if you click into that, the very top entry will be the vMix 26 preview release. And then you can read all the features that are there, which we're going to go over today, and the upgrades. And then there are a few comments in there, but not many. As Martin Sinclair, the developer, says in the opening post in that thread, that thread is not for suggestions of new features. It is rather to report any bugs or things that that don't work the way you expect them to work, perhaps, so that he can clarify. But there's some good stuff. This is what I would call a smorgasbord release. There's a lot of stuff and maybe a little something for everybody. This is not a major upgrade release. I mean, some people may say, oh my gosh, yes, we finally have this. And that's big for them, but it's not something that everybody's going to be using. It's not like a vMix call release or a NDI release, or an instant replay release, those kinds of things. Well, even replay can be a little fringe for some folks. I'm, not going to use it in the church. I mean, what are you going to do? Instant replay the baptism in slow motion, fast forward and then backwards? No, you're not going to do that. Okay, well, let's get into it. So we've got visual aids. We have got visual aids here, and we need to do one more thing to our visual aid that I didn't have time to do. We are going to add. Do you want to see what I'm doing? Yeah, let's add a desktop capture so you can see what I'm doing when I'm doing all this. I think I'm going to add. No, I'm going to add that one. Is that right? Come on. Come on, guy. Sometimes they need a little encouragement. That desktop capture was just blank. Let's try a different one. We'll try that. That's not the one we want. Let's try one more. I'd make a desktop capture to show you how I'm doing desktop capture, but I haven't gotten it yet. Yeah, look at that. 2 of the desktop captures are just not working. Crazy, crazy. All right, let's go back here. Let's try it one more time. I am using a beta, remember. Yep. So this is what I get when I do a desktop capture. There you go. So that's not good. We'll report that as a bug. Or it could just be me. It could be my system. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So let's try one more thing here and see if we can get a desktop capture. What I think will happen if I do this one is that it won't show you everything. In desktop capture, I can capture any one of my 3 displays. I can capture any one of my my windows that are active. For example, this is an active window. Yeah, that is an active window. Of course, over there, we're going to go off to infinity because that's a shot of a shot of a shot of a shot of a shot. You know the deal on that one. And what did I want to do? Oh, I know what I want to do, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to do it and let you guys see it on this screen. I want to take this image right here, and I want to put myself in it. So I'm going to go into settings. Yeah, you don't get to see this. Yep. You don't get to see me do it. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to go to position. I'm going to go to layers. I'm going to add my camera, which is number 17, into it. And then I am going to crop it. Well, I'll just bring it down here. There we go. There we go. There we go. So that's what we want. That's what we want right there. So we're going to go back there, and then, yeah. And so that's actually, oops, let's restart that. Come on, restart, baby. There we, nope. Huh, it doesn't do restart. Okay, so the big news for a lot of people, well, for some people, is going to be the LUT effect. And this is a camera, I know, like this much. In fact, people in the chat, you people, you people in the chat will be telling me about the LUT effect and how great it is and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, the LUT effect, from what I understand, is an ability to make some color settings to your camera that can be actually saved as a file and imported and exported, and let, oh, can I show you? The desktop capture's not working, so I may not be able to show you some of the things I wanted to show you. Let's try desktop capture one more time. Desktop capture, local capture, display one. And I just get a green screen again. Okay. So how can I show this to you? This is embarrassing, because I was counting on being able to do a desktop capture for a lot of this. And so some of it I've made screenshots of, but this effect I did not make a screenshot of. Can I fake it? Can I do something to capture my screen a different way? All right, well, no, we got to have it. We got to have it. All right, let me think through this for just a second. I'm a trained professional idiot, so I should be able to figure out another way to capture my monitor. We can go low tech. Hold on a second. Yeah, here's low tech right here. Yep, we can go low tech. Let's try it. Let's see if we can get enough low tech imagery here to, so we want to add. Oh, you know what? You know why it wouldn't let me put a desktop capture in there? I think I already have one. Let's see. Hold on. From like last week or the week before. Let's take a look at this one. All right, so if I open a window now, does that open a window in this? Yeah, there we go. All right, we're back. So it's not a bug. It's an idiot thing. It's an idiot thing. You knew it was. All right. So yeah, I could have used new tech desktop capture. That's a good idea, Hans. My bad. I was going too low tech. All right, so we've got my desktop here. You can see if you look at the top. Let's go back into this just for a second, and we're going to sharpen it. If we haven't already, we have already. Okay. So we're going to say the LUT effect and is it Gaussian or Gaussian blur? They're both in the same spot. So let's go here and we're going to find, let's just go to number 3 right here. And this is an image. Let me drag it in. There it is. This is an image. Whoa. Okay. We'll go full screen with that. That's all right. And there's a new category here on the left, a new tab on the left. I wish they put separators in between those so it really did look like a tab. So the effects tab allows me, and let's see, let's just take these out and pretend like they were never there. So the effects tab, I can click the plus, and this is a clue that there may be other effects coming, that Martin has taken time to make this whole interface and call it effects up there, which means there's other stuff coming. There's other stuff. Don't know what it is. Nobody's told me that. I'm just reading between the lines. You know me, I like to read between the lines. So number 1 on the list, the other list was LUT. So we'll take a look at that. And here's the LUT. Here's the properties, the strength. We can adjust. We can browse for that file, and that's all I know about it. So we'll skip right there. Now we'll go. Yeah, Jan was worried for a minute and said, "Where did the idiocy go?" It's back. Never fear. Okay, here's the blur, and you can see the blur is at 0.1, and the picture behind me. This is not really my studio. This is just a photograph. The picture behind me will go clear when I take it to 0. Actually, I could have hit this little reset strength to default button. And now, as I drag it out to the right, watch this stuff, because this has got some detail here. Watch it as it kind of blurs behind me to the point where it blurs to the point of almost nothingness. But we can give it a blur like, maybe maybe the camera's got me in focus and everything behind me is out of focus. That's one of the beauties. And this shot that you're looking at is a composite shot. Let me go back to the layers right here, and you can see layer number 1 is my camera. So if we take that out, the camera goes away. You just get to see what the shot looks like. We'll go back here, and that's my studio. It's not today, but it's recently. It's a wreck. Yeah, I know. So we're going to set it back at a nice little blur, and then we'll go back to the layers tab, and we'll just check the checkbox there and put me back in it. So that's the blur. Now the blur can be added. Let's just get out of this for just a second. And let's go into my camera. The blur can be added to anything. We can blur me. Some people would like to do that. All right, so I'm already blurred. The default apparently is 0.1, but I can go to a hot mess pretty cleanly. If we turn off the color key, it's a little bit more accurate. And we'll go back into the Gaussian blur, and we'll reset it. There we go. Now I'm crisp focus, or as crisp a focus as I'm going to get. And then we'll go back to the color key and turn the green screen back on. So that is the Gaussian blur with chroma key. So yeah, there we go. And the LUT effect, all I know on that one. The stream delay is really pretty cool. I'm not a gamer, so I will you can quote me on this one. I will never use it. I will never use it. But if we go down into stream settings, and this is my stream settings for number 1. Let's just go over to number 2 for a second. And then we'll go into the setting of the setting. Well, let's see. Let's just set it for a custom RTMP server and see if we can go in there. No, it's not going to let me do it while I'm streaming. What if I say I want to go to Facebook? Will it let me get into that at Facebook? Oh, I'm using Stream 1 quality. That's why. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go in there, and that's not it. Where it was there earlier. Let's go here. Can we get it now? We can't get into that one while we're streaming. And it may be, let's go back here, now there. No, doesn't look like I can get into where I need to be able to get into at the moment. I saw it earlier. If I stop the stream, I could probably do that. If, oh, let's see. Let's just do Twitter or Twitch. That would be one that it might be unlocked for. Yeah, I'm just not getting it right there. Well, take my word for it. It's there. It's not very exciting. It basically just says, stream delay, and then gives you a choice of 0. Well, actually, I guess you can type in the seconds, but it gives you increments you can choose from up to 300 seconds. 300 seconds divided by 60 is going to be 5 minutes. So you can delay your stream for up to 5 minutes, but we're not going to be able to get into it here. I'm afraid, I regret, for whatever reason, it is not there. Yep. So let's get rid of Twitch here before we get ourselves in trouble. There we go. So 2 and 3 are empty. We're not going to use Stream 1 quality. Yeah, it's still not there. Okay. All right. I should have taken a snapshot of it. Didn't realize that was the case. My bad. My bad. Vertical HD presets. Hello, Byron. Just show up whenever you want to. That's all right. It's not like I depend on you week to week. Vertical HD presets. All right, what is a vertical HD preset? Vertical HD preset is going to be how your vMix is organized. So we're going to do, so yeah, let's see. Can we do that in settings? Is that where we're going to see that? And we're going to say the output size is, no, this is not where it's going to be. Yeah, no, 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 no. Let's go to the GT template, and this vertical preset will come back to me. So GT template, I've got the GT template set up here. Nope, not that GT template. We want to add an input. There we go. And we want it to be a title. And now as we look across the tabs here, we've got title, ticker, scoreboard, social, stingers, text, timers, and vertical. This is the new one. This is the new one. And this and they have already configured a whole bunch of templates for us to use, even new ones. I mean, they've gotten very creative. So for example, let's see. I have created an MP4. And I'm just going to lay it on you right there. Let's see if this MP4 automatic flip adjustment thingy really works, shall we? Yeah, what he said. And that MP4 was actually taken on my phone in the vertical format. And I have the ability, where is it? Yeah, there it is. Of adding the lower third and keeping in mind that the lower third now, you know, is the only part that's seen is the part that is inside the do we see the borders? Let's see. 1 second here. Yeah. Oh, no. Well, we'll come back. So the only part that you can see if this is streamed in vertical format is going to be the headline description. But they've added some cute ones, and I think this is pretty fun. And this is just, it's just a photograph. Yeah, so we've got a little photograph template that fits right over there so that we can do that for all of our people. Now, I took this shot right here with the phone horizontally, and of course I'm leaning over so it looks like I've got, you know, some sort of major facial swelling going on. All right, let's see. And then this is the phone vertically, and so automatic flip, you know, the phone thingy didn't know really works, but vMix knew that this needed to be recorded this well. The phone knew because the phone recorded this one horizontally, and it recorded that one vertically. MP4 and vMix was able to recognize whatever it needed to recognize in the MP4 thingy to get it to see works. That one. Shall we? So yeah. So there we go. So yeah, got a little blur in the background here. You like that? Yeah, I like that. That's kind of cool. Of course, the background itself is slightly blurred anyway. This is the unblurred version versus the blurred version. So yeah, it's nice to see the little TV screen. I guess they're blurred out enough already. All right, let's go back to our shot here. So, oh, the 90% rotate button. Yeah, let's look at the 90% rotate button. So we need to put this desktop capture where we can find it. So we'll go back to desktop capture, and we are going to go into, oh, I know. Let's pick this guy. We're going to go into the settings for this guy. And on the position tab, we now have a 90-degree button. And so I'm going to hit that 90-degree button, and suddenly I'm 90 degrees, and I'm automatically within the format that I need to. So, yeah. So that's pretty cool. So now we've got this shot, and yeah, it's in the format that we need it to be in. So that worked out okay. All right, so let's go on to the next page. There's the auto rotate. NDI 5.5. How do you know what you have? Because you may have NDI already. You can go to settings in your Windows PC and go to apps and see, what your NDI is. It might tell you you're at 5.5, but there's always a dot after the last number. If it's 5.5 dot something. So let's do a screen capture, and I am going to bring up my NDI. This is the NDI launcher. Welcome to NDI tools. And then over here, if you have this already, it says get the latest greatest update. So if I click this tab, it's going to open a browser window, and let me drag that in. That takes me to NDI. Let's drag it over here so it's easier to see. NDI.tv/tools/download tools. And what I'm looking for is NDI for Windows. And down at the very bottom here, I can see the latest greatest version is 5.5.2. I think I have that, but I'm not sure. But I'll download it later just to make sure. And let's just get that window out of the way. But this is one of the easiest ways to get the updates. If you don't already have it, if you don't already have NDI, you can just go to ndi.tv and download it, install it. It's a free download. The other news, and this is big news, that some people, I have spammers in my chat. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see if we can't unspam the spammers in our chat. We'll just get rid of them. How about that? Did that do it? Tommy, I'm going to make you a moderator. All right, and Jan, I'm going to make you a moderator. So if you guys will police the chat. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we're back. We're back. And by the way, that was probably just my bot. If it was sending you to an adult site. Yeah. Although adult can have more than one meaning. Some of us struggle to reach adulthood and maintain it. So there we go. All right. So vMix, 15 mix inputs. And some of you may say, what is a mix input? Well, a mix input is an input that looks like, well, it looks like this right here. And I've actually put in 15 of them so you could see them all. Here is a, oh, I got to click that part right there. There we go. And so that's what, I guess that's 12 of them. The others wouldn't fit on the screen. But each one of those allows us to set up a little mini vMix in a way. And so I'll go to the first one right here. And I can say, okay, I want preview to be the main shot, and I want output to be the virtual shot. And I can cut in between them. And when I take this particular input live, and I'll just do a cut with it, I just get the one screen. But within that mix input, I can cut back and forth between, you notice how the background's changing right here. I can do a fade, I can do all sorts of transitions. But that is the essence, the very basic essence of a mix input. You can use them for lots of other things. A mix input also allows you to sort of compress, or I guess collapse is the right word, all of your different, say maybe you have 10 different levels in a multi-view. You can collapse all those so that when you use that in something else and you're trying to crop it, I think sometimes if I crop this shot, it only crops me, it doesn't crop the background. Well, using a mix input as the input for the cropping would solve that problem. So anyway, so now you've got 15 of those mix inputs. Tommy and Jan are doing Power Ranger stuff in the chat. It's not even funny. Okay. All right. So let's go back by here and let me get reorganized again. Yeah. Because you guys are just, you guys are too much. You guys are too much. All right. So a couple more features that were added. And this first one is kind of interesting. SRT support for replay. And what this is going to mean is, it can mean a lot of different things, but the one thing I see it meaning is if you do vMix in the cloud, if you're using an Amazon server out in the cloud somewhere, and you've got vMix on it, and you're bringing in your various resources like cameras, if you're bringing in an SRT camera, now you can do replay in the cloud. So that's for some people, that's going to be a pretty big deal. It means they don't have to bring all those resources down to their own studio. If they're bandwidth limited, they can do it all in the cloud, and they can do replay in the cloud now too. So that's going to be a pretty good deal. And I think we'll see a lot of folks make some use of that, and I'm interested in that too. The other thing it could mean is that you could have one or more cameras in a remote location, and that they would be available as SRT sources, and that you could bring those directly into your vMix production and do replay there. Or you could have, 5 cameras at 5 different venues and be able to do replays from all those 5 venues over SRT. Anyway, so pretty cool for folks that are in that. The SRT multi-track audio support for those of you that do audio and SRT, that's going to be a biggie. For some of you that are using the web browser and have found that the old Chrome version, I guess it was maybe 97, that was built into the web browser input, was not doing everything you needed. They've updated it to version 103. I think version 105 or 106 may be the current version, and so maybe they'll update even more, but they want to double check that everything works, and I think they feel pretty sure that version 103 works. Insta360 link PTZ support, Jan was not impressed with that, and maybe we can get some details from him as to what he didn't like about it. And then here's the kind of the smorgasbord part of it. For those of you that are Bluefish 444 fans, you've got key and fill on some cards. The new audio matrix, some of you may not have even known about the audio matrix. Let's see, let's show you what the audio matrix is, and we'll bring in this mismatch. We're going to turn on the audio mixer here, and I'm going to go into my microphone and go into the settings for my microphone. And I'm just going to drag them up here so that it's not as distracting. Here's the general tab where I can set the gain and the delay. And then I've got my plugins. I'm using the NS1 stereo plugin from Waves. Don't have any EQ going. Well, actually, I do have it enabled, but it's pretty flat. Not using the compressor, not using the noise gate, not doing anything with the channel mixer. But here's the channel matrix. And the channel matrix allows me to basically route my audio where I want it to go within limits. So if I were using a microphone that was stereo, or maybe this wasn't a microphone, maybe it was a video and had stereo, I could cross over the left and right channels so that I was guaranteed that whatever was here in the post would be essentially a mono signal. So I'm going to separate back out, and you can see, maybe it's the same, maybe it's slightly different. But that's important in cases where you might have a mono input, but it's coming in stereo, so it's coming in perhaps just on the left channel. And so if that's the case, you would have this blue volume meter right here on the left. Maybe only the left side would be populated with volume and the right side would be dead. And so we could even it out by doing that, and that would give you the same track of audio, both left and right checks. I did a terrible job of explaining that, but I hope you got the gist of it. We've also got 1440 support, and that would be in, I think it's in live streaming. Let's see if we can check our streaming features down here and see. Oh, no. That's not going to be in streaming, because streaming doesn't have resolutions. Maybe it's going to be in our settings. Let's check settings. I saw it earlier. So the output size is going to be, there we go, 2560 by 1440. So the U1440 fans now can operate in a 1440 environment in vMix. GT line spacing. This is cool. This is cool. I use GT a lot. Here's how I make the little posters that we make. And line spacing would allow, see, I've got this one set of features right here. And they're actually today, I should have used it today, but the line spacing is a little too much for me in this. And so I'm on the home tab, which is the home tab for this little panel right here. And I am going to go over here to the text portion. And there's a new little guy over here that's a drop down, and we'll drop him down, and he is line spacing. And line spacing by percentage. So we're not doing points or picas or anything like that. We're just going to do it in percentages. So I can change the percentage. Let's change it to 50%. Well, that's a little much. Let's grab the little bar here, and we'll just drag it out. That's where I wanted it to be today, and that would be better, because I didn't want it to have quite the effect of everything else, but I did want it to be the same size so you could read it. So by putting them closer together, it sort of lessens the importance of each one, and they're more as a block. And so that's line spacing. I like line spacing. That's cool. The top right align is for images in GT, for GT images in GT Title Designer. So I'll let you play with that one. I really don't care about that one. I have no clue what D3, D9 support is, but vMix has got it. And I left two letters out of shortcuts over here, so don't put in an I by accident. It's new replay shortcuts. And the new replay shortcuts, for those of you that are really, really interested in that, they are replay mark in out live future and replay set channel A to B time code, replay set channel B to A time code, of course, and replay set time code. So 4 new replay shortcuts for those of you that like replay shortcuts. And then there is a feature that, if you've been using Facebook, and especially if you've been scheduling a stream, you know that doesn't work through vMix anymore. Temporarily or permanently, I'm not sure why, but it's been disabled. You can still schedule a stream through Facebook directly, and then attach vMix to it. But you can also set a, I left out some words here. So this is a stream key destination for manual streams. So if you're a Facebook person, you will appreciate that. Oh, this is one of my favorites right here. So not sure why it's got the little piece saved there. That's interesting. Haven't seen that. Between the TIM and the plates. vMix has a great loyalty to the way things used to be. And I think that every feature in vMix, unless it was just a bad feature, is still there. And some of those have been named as legacy features, but they're still available. For example, if you, let me show you for example. So we're going to go here, and I'm going to go down and I'm going to add an input. It's going to be a title input, which used to be called title XAML, but it's just now called title. And we've got all these GT titles here. And we used to have a bunch of other titles that had the same names, except they didn't have title GT in front of them. Those have all been condensed into a tab called Legacy. So they're still there. We can still see them and use them. If we loved them and want to have them again, there they are. But, and then all, of course. But the legacy ones are still there. They're just in a different place. So vMix is kind of, it's keeping what you love, but it might be putting it in a different place so that you can use it in the future. So all the XAML titles have been moved to the Legacy tab. Yep. All right. Now let's see. We'll just stay here. Position tab includes input names. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. So let me pull up a vMix. We're going to do my main shot right here. We're going to go into the settings for the main shot. And, oh, we're already on the position tab. How about that? So on the position tab, it used to be when you dropped it down right here. Well, let's go back to the multi layers. So you see I'm using 3 layers right here. Well, actually, I'm using 2. I'm using number 1 and number 3. So 1 is the camera. Ta-da! And 2 is a vMix call, which I'm not using, so it's unchecked. And then 3 is the audio for my desk right here. And so those 3 are there, and you can see them by name. And it used to be when you went into position, it said main, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it tells you what the input is. So if you want to select it, before you had to say, okay, what is number 7? Let's go back here to layers and see what number 7 is. Okay, now we can go back to position. Well, actually, you can just click edit, and it would take me straight to 7. But now if I want to move around between them, I can do that here. And I could make myself go away. Oh, or I could bring myself back. Yeah, there we go. Let's bring me back. So that is the position tab, including the input names. And for today, that is what we've got. So there we're going. Tinder Hot XYZ, best adult dating site. Well, that rules out most of this crowd. Oh, goodness. I like that feature too, Tommy. So there we go. Yeah, we'll go in. You guys want to zap those guys, or shall I zap them? Oh, they're already been zapped. For some reason, I get to see them. That's okay. That's okay. So I think vMix did a pretty good job. I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, here's the thing. You know, do you remember back in the time of Lotus 123? Lotus 123, Lotus 123. The very first, might not have been the very first, but the first big thing popular spreadsheet. And then you had was it WordStar? WordStar, Lotus 123, and then what was the database program that was so popular back then? Somebody remind me. It was DBase 3. That was it. And, you know, those were kind of the big 3. So you had word processing, you had the spreadsheet, and then you had the database. And those, you know, back then, those were the next big thing. And people have been trying to find whatever that 4th or 5th one will be ever since then. You know, what's the next big thing? Well, you know, maybe it's PowerPoint, or maybe it's, you know, this or that or the other. And maybe it is. But vMix has kind of reached the same place where, you know, you've done live streaming and what's the next big thing? It's going to be hard to come up with a big new feature. Now, I think vMix has sort of come out with a big new feature in the vertical streaming stuff, and we'll see more and more of that as vMix takes more and more takes that as a serious audience more and more, and I think it will be, can be, should be. And there'll be those of us that might like to be able to stream in a format that's going to be widescreen, but also narrow screen. So we'll see. Yeah, that's vMix 26, all 24 new features and updates. Actually, they might be 25, but that's okay. Let's pop over to the post show, and I want to see your comments, and we'll be right back after a press of the purple button on my X Keys XK80, which you can get in our store. This purple button right here that says outro, and I made that with a piece of purple. No. I printed it on my printer. All of the keys, the stream key and the record key and the blue number keys and the arrow keys and the fade to black keys and the M1 through 6 keys came with it. And then I'll use those for things that are customized for each show. But these are always the same. Yeah. And then the big vMix button down here is my cough button. So yeah, so that's it. That's the XK80, and we're going to hit the purple button right now. Well, okay. So, Tommy, have we answered your question? Is there anything in vMix 26 for your church? I think the position tab thing will help. It's just a little thing, but it's one of those things that just makes life a little easier. You know, saves you an extra couple seconds. If you're in a hurry, it means you get to where you want to be quicker. And sometimes, you know, 5 seconds is a big deal. You know, it's the difference between not having it and having it. Let's see. Let me shift over to vMix Social, and we'll take a look here and see. Tommy's asking the best questions today. When will vMix go public with 26? Well, technically, it's already public. Public is not a way that we would describe the release of software. The vMix 26 that's been released is technically a beta. It is not technically a release version. Now this is vMix 26.0.0.18. We will probably see another, maybe half a dozen dot updates, 18, 19, 20, etc. in the next couple of weeks as people find bugs. I thought I found one today. Turned out it was just me being an idiot. So I was using a vMix preset from last week that had lots of stuff in it, and I was so excited about going through vMix 26 today that I didn't go back through the preset and just kind of clear out some of the junk from last week that I wasn't using for this week. But that's okay. That's okay. It gave us a chance to see that together. But to answer your question, Tommy, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? When will vMix make vMix 26 a release? My guess would be, Christmas. Christmas would be a good time to make it a release. Maybe sooner. Couple months has generally been the amount of time that they've left a beta out there until they were absolutely positively sure that every possible stupid bug ridiculous bug. You know, occasionally when you click this and click that and click this and don't and shouldn't, but click that bug, you know, I found one of those bugs one time just by doing stupid stuff. So yeah, there we go. I agree. I think that's a great one. I mean, I'm not going to buy vMix for it, but as a vMix user, I appreciate it. If I'm using, you know, OBS or Wirecast or StreamYard or, you know, something else, TriCaster, I'm not going to jump to vMix because of the position tab. But as a user, I appreciate that. And that's one of the things that I appreciate vMix for, is that not only are they trying to add features that will gain new audience, which of course they have to, because that's how they survive, is by sales. But it means that they're taking care of their existing customers too. It's part of that legacy theme, I think. They don't want to let anything go. They have a loyalty to the folks that brought them to the dance. So yeah. There you go, Tommy. And Hector, to answer your question, I think you're talking about the Facebook live streaming scheduling. That actually, Facebook changed their API, and they eliminated the command that vMix was using to schedule live streams. And I know vMix has requested access to that API information so that they can, you know, fix it in vMix. But let's see, is that still there? I'm going to go to the streams. Well, I'll bring you along with me. Hold on. One second. Let's go here. We'll go here. We'll go there. There we go. All right, so we're going to go down to the stream tab. And we're going to go to stream 2, and let's go to Facebook. And we're going to go to Facebook settings. And this is Eastern Shore Broadcasting, new stream. Looking for scheduled streams? Click here. So you can't schedule a stream in vMix 28. And what we get is a link to the vMix knowledge base on scheduled streams. And so there you go. So that'll tell you how to create a video event in Facebook. So well done to vMix for fixing that. They didn't really fix it, but they did fix it so we don't do it by accident and get an error message anymore. I like that. Good job. Good job. Good job. Here we go. Tom Eagle. Welcome, Dr. Eagle. On his Behringer UMC 404, he used the left for the audio for the house and the right channel for to IFB for house through the mixer. And then he could break them apart or split them as he needed to. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. What page are we on? Are we on 6? No, we're on 1. So let's go to 2 and see what we see. Hello, Ray. Glad to have you. Jan has a solution for everyone. Absolutely, Tommy. Thank you very much. Let's see. If they do, I want one. Yes, I agree, Biz. For some people that understand the concept, they can make mix input sing. And yeah. They know how to make mix inputs work to their advantage. I've used it for the cropping thing. I'll show you. let me show you what I mean by that. Let's take this for example. Let's go to that tab. We'll go in here. We'll go in here. And I'm going to take the main and I'm going to crop it. That's the crop problem. So let's go out of that. And we're going to take, that's input number 15. So let's take input number 15 right here. And we'll find input number 15 right there. And then we are going to go, yeah, let's make that, oh, no. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Input number 15. So let's make input number 15. Can we send it to preview? There we go. Okay, so now I've got, oh, I've got it in preview. Yeah, I've got it in preview because otherwise you couldn't see it. So let's go into it here and see if we can crop it now. And what happens? Yeah, so we get to crop the whole thing. Not sure? Go back and play with it. You can do it. You can do it. I know you can do it. Never fear. Idiocy is here to stay. Don't use Teams, so I'm not sure, but I think it's probably a whole different technology. Jan is waiting impatiently for Martin to add GPU-powered background removal as an effect. It may be in the works. I remember, what was it that had that? There was a little piece of software that I used years and years ago that was a little mini switcher. And it had the ability, I wish I remember what the name of that is. I'll have to look on one of my computers and see if it's still there. And it could just take out whatever the background was behind you. It was gone. Yep. Let's see. Looking back through. Some questions just don't deserve an answer. All right, let's see. We're getting into the good stuff here. Gunnar, you were right. And that should be listed on the features, that the documentation has improved. And let me show it to you. Oh, well, let's go here. And I'm going to go right here to the Browsing Online Help ? Button. And it's going to bring up that. And let's drag it in. We'll go full screen with it so you can see it. And this is, it's a new look, but it might be a little better look. vMix Help 26. We'll go into overlays. Yeah, they've just cleaned it up. They've cleaned it up a little bit. And that's to be commended, for sure. For sure. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And it's just one of those little things that just says, you know, we're moving things up a notch. Yes. But there are those of us that wouldn't ever use it except as a very last resort. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Couldn't agree more, Rich. And it may just be one more. Love to hear more about that. And I bet I'm not the only one, Jan, that would like to hear more about that. A mini 4K PTZ USB camera with several tracking functions. R26 adds support for the basic PTZ motion. Well, it's a beginning. Hello, Clint. Glad to have you. T-Century, Tom Century, glad to have you. If you're still here, first time watcher, got one of my PCs, made many mistakes, and he's an idiot. You'll fit right in. You'll fit right in. All right, let's go back and catch up and see what I might have missed here. I couldn't agree more, Tommy. I think that's really the case. That's their goal, is to throw out a beta that's fully cooked. Welcome, Peter. Hope they will bring more output some days. Yeah, I'd like that too. I'd like that too. You know, right now you've got lots of options for outputs. So let's bring in this. We'll go to settings. We'll go to outputs, and I've got two full screen outputs. One is just, the regular output, and then I'm using input number 12 as an output to my other monitor. And then, of course, one output is what we have to have, because that's the program out. And that could be toyed with somehow. But I've got all these other outputs, and I can make them NDI options too. And then I've got cameras, calls, audio inputs, and audio outputs that can also be available over NDI. So those would be outputs as well, which can go to, to a TV set that has a browser in it. No, check that. Actually, they would have to go to another computer that's running NDI. It would be the live LAN that would go to a TV that had a browser in it. My bad. But you do have lots of NDI output options here, that's for sure. But yeah, it would be nice to see, 16 outputs for sure. I could go with 16. That would do me. Of course, then it's like, okay, are they NDI outputs? Are they monitor outputs? My graphics card will take 4, but I've got some graphics cards I've used that will take 5 outputs. Here I'm using the vMix desktop on one, and I'm using vMix social on the other. The third one over there is a blank screen at the moment, but it could be part of my full screen output. It'd be nice to have an extra full screen for those of us that have 5 full screen outputs. Biz, I love it. This was last week's surprise. Biz says, it'd be nice to add triggers to productions with more than 300 inputs. And I was like, what do you mean add a trigger? And so let's go here. And we'll just take this guy for example. We'll go to triggers, and we'll go to what are our options, and boom, 300 inputs is the limit. Can't go to any more than that. So yeah, if you haven't already, Biz, the way to help make that happen is to go to the vMix forum, to the feature request forum, and put in a feature request. And then come back to this show and put in the chat, hey, support my feature request. And you can get a bunch of folks, you know, I think it should have more than 300. I'll never use 100. Well, I might, but I won't use 200. I certainly won't use 300 and definitely won't go over 300. But for those of you that do, it would be nice. Yeah. Hang on a second. Got the cough button. Oh, that didn't work, did it? I held it down. I forgot it wasn't a hold down. That's too funny. Too funny. Tom Eagle, do you handle Netgear M4250? I do not. I would say, Tom, for something like that, you know, you're looking for a managed switch. That's the kind of thing I wouldn't buy from Amazon. I would buy it from a dealer that I could get technical support from. I know that the guys at PTZ Optics have done some videos on the M4250, and I think the Bird Dog guys just recently did a video on the M4250 for using with NDI. So it would be you might just fire off a note and ask them, you know, where's a good place where I can buy it, where I can get some technical support with it. I've been meaning to investigate that myself. Yeah, I get you, Tommy. I can see that. It would be nice to have the ability to craft more than just, you know, a couple, 3 outputs for that. Obviously, if the same information is appearing on more than one, then you can just split them. But if it's unique information that's going multiple places, yeah, I could see that. How many more overlays would you like? And what would you do with them? Are you talking about overlay channels? We've got the 4 overlay channels right here. Oops, right here. 4 overlay channels right here. And then each input has got essentially 10 more of its own right here. So that gives you 10 plus 4. So each input has the capacity for 14 channels, but it's got to share 4 of them with everybody else. Yep, that's the way to do it. Feature request, for sure. 16 overlay channels. Well, now you can nest them, I think. Let's check it. So I'm going to create, let's just create a blank input. You're down here at the bottom, number 99, blank input. And I am going to fill it up with lots of stuff. Let's see if we can do a multi-screen. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whoops, that one covered up everything. Let's edit it and make it really, really small. There we go. We'll put it right there. So I've got 10 inputs there. Now I can come to, let's make another blank input. And I can go to layers and I can bring in number 99. And then I can bring in another one. I'm going to bring in this one. Bring in, let's see, that one. We'll have to, again, we'll have to change the size of it. So I can nest them. I think short and quick and dirty. Let's get rid of those before they cause us any trouble. I think quick and dirty, that would be the way to do it. So you could get 16 pretty easy, I think. Eight is enough. I think there was a TV show by the same name, wasn't it? This has been one of the better of the best shows. Well, Tommy, you're very sweet. I don't know that I would agree with that. Oh, let's make a Gaussian blur on this one. Let's see. Can we do that just for that? Layers. This is going to be, is it? Where is the, no. Well, where is the background? Oh, this is the background. But it doesn't tell me what it is. Huh. Well, oh, well then, yeah, duh. We'll go there. General, effects, Gaussian blur. Oh, yeah, see, there it did. It did it. So if I want that moire effect, there we go. That's good. All right. All right. Thank you, Tommy. You inspired me. Have 3 different multi-views at the same time as NDI out. 3 different multi-views. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that right now. You'll just have to customize your multi-view. Let's see. Let's go back to... Can I bring those back? Let's go. Let's show you what I'm doing here. All right, so we're going here, and I'm just gonna go and bring back those 2 I deleted. So we use number 99 right here. So 99 ends up being a multi-view of its own, right? And then let's make a couple of copies of it. And we'll take out some of the stuff that's in it. So that it's evident that it's different. And then we'll do the same for this one. Whoops. Okay. So now we've got 3 customized multi-views, and we want to go to settings, and we want to go to outputs, and it's number 99, 100, and 101. So I'm going to go 99. Oops, come on. Where are you? 100 and 101. And turn NDI on for all of those. And so I should be able to go into NDI Studio Monitor now and see if I've got output 2, output 3, and output 4. So that gives us 3 unique outputs that were all available as NDIs. Can't go 4. Not like that. Not like that. All right, let's see. There you go. Gunner. Gunner's got it. Biz, pay attention to Gunner. Yes. To my knowledge, never tried it. Might have to try it. There we go. Yep, I get you. I get you. It would be easier if you had other options. I got it. I get it. Get it? Got it. Good. Yep. Well, y'all have been a great audience today. Participatory. Tried to bring you into every little thing that I possibly could. This is my setup, by the way. I always keep multiple images of myself, of course. And then other little things that might catch your eye every now and then. Sometimes I'll use that to remind me and you that we build those. There's my thanks for watching. This is today's desktop capture. Boy, how about that for going back into infinity. And then a lot of these that are collapsed are just ones that, you know, I use every so often, or I use all the time, but I don't need to display. So like this virtual headshot, don't need that, but I use that sometimes. Side by side, not using it this week. Used it a couple of weeks ago when we had John from Bird Dog on. Let's see, and this is the call that fits into that template. Got the webcam going today, not using it. It just shows you a project that I'm working on the desk. And the monitor is just, let's see, can we do full screen on that monitor? Yeah, there we go. So we can see what the output is over there, but not doing that one today. And then, you know, there's some text. Check the checklist. Wonder what that came in. And then another shot, you know, just assets, various assets, a copy of a virtual call. There's a pre-show that, oh, that's the pre-show that we're using. Yeah, there we go. Got it. Anyway, lots of fun stuff. Lots of fun stuff. So there we go. Chris, what can I say? It looks like Tommy said it for us. There we go. All right, guys, but we're gonna head out on a positive note before we do something stupid. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. Here's the thing, you can help me. Number one, you can like this video. You can like it right now while it's live. That would be great, because what that does is it lifts us up in the algorithm and more people get to see it. The second thing is you can make a comment on the YouTube video, not in the chat that we're doing right now, but after the fact. This will be live, and I mean, this will be available to preview. Well, no, what's the right word? Replay. This will be available to replay, not sports replay, but YouTube replay in 3 to 5 minutes. And you can go make a comment down there. Boy, wasn't Tom an idiot today. I don't care. just make a comment. And YouTube's, they're getting lots of interaction. We better boost them up on the algorithm. So that would be a way that you could help me if you would. You don't have to subscribe. You can. The advantage to subscribing is that when I schedule a live stream through YouTube, it'll send you a notice and say, "Oh, Tom's coming live 3 hours from now." So there we go. There we go. So we're good. We're good. We're good. Likewise. Likewise. And as my good friends always say, whatever that means. Oh my gosh. There we go. We'll leave out on that one. Thanks, guys. Later. Back at you.